In the theater of global politics, the script is being rewritten before our eyes. Two EU nations are now exploring membership in BRICS, the economic bloc of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, now expanded to include major players from the global south. This is more than a diplomatic gesture. It's a direct challenge to the post-Cold War order and the foundation of the Western Alliance. For decades, the world was largely unipolar, dominated by the US and its European allies. BRICS emerged as a counterweight, giving a voice to rising economies. Now, with two EU members considering a leap across the ideological divide, we're witnessing the acceleration of a multipolar world. Power is more diffuse, alliances more fluid, and the old rules no longer apply. The choices these countries make could set a precedent, encouraging others to question long-held allegiances. Is the Western model losing its appeal? Are nations prioritizing pragmatic economic interests over shared political values? The answers will shape the geopolitical landscape for generations. We stand at a genuine historical inflection point as the certainties of the international system dissolve. The decisions made now will echo for decades, redrawing the map of global influence. To grasp today's news, we must understand the EU and BRICS. The EU, born from the ashes of World War II, evolved into a powerful union of 27 states, committed to democracy and the rule of law. It's the most successful peace project in modern history. BRICS, in contrast, is a newer, looser coalition, united by a sense of exclusion from the Western-dominated global system. They created alternative institutions like the New Development Bank to challenge the World Bank and IMF. The EU and BRICS have been both partners and rivals, major trading partners, but also ideological adversaries. The EU is a key market for China and a source of investment for India and Brazil, but it's also critical of human rights records in China and Russia. BRICS accuses the EU of hypocrisy and neo-colonialism. Tensions have intensified, especially after BRICS expanded in 2024 to include Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Egypt. The relationship is a delicate balancing act, driven by mutual economic need and deep-seated suspicion. Now, with EU members eyeing BRICS, the ideological clash is more pronounced than ever. The stage is set for a new era of global competition. The bombshell dropped just before the new year. On December 20, 2025, Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orbán announced exploratory talks for BRICS membership, calling it a pragmatic step for Hungary's future. Days later, Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico echoed the move, declaring Slovakia would also consider closer ties with BRICS. Both leaders framed their decisions as a break from Brussels' failed policies and a bid for sovereignty. These announcements were no accident. They were a calculated maneuver. Orbán and Fico have long clashed with the EU over issues like judicial independence, migration, and relations with Russia and China. Their pivot to BRICS is the culmination of years of drifting from the EU mainstream. BRICS responded with cautious optimism, calling itself an open and inclusive platform. Russian officials were more enthusiastic, seeing this as proof of Western decline. No formal invitation has been extended, but the very act of knocking has already changed the game. The door is open, and Europe's unity is under threat. The political consequences for the EU are profound. The EU is built on solidarity, member states united by common values. Hungary and Slovakia's move to explore BRICS membership strikes at the heart of this principle. If they join, they could use their EU veto power to block actions against their new partners, paralyzing the bloc's foreign policy. This would give Moscow and Beijing influence inside the EU. If Hungary and Slovakia succeed, other disillusioned states might follow, risking a domino effect and the fragmentation of the EU. Brussels faces a dilemma: act harshly and risk alienating these countries, or do nothing and appear weak. Either path threatens the EU's credibility and future. The European project stands at a crossroads, its unity and purpose in question. The stakes for Europe have never been higher. Beneath the politics lies a stark economic calculation. Hungary and Slovakia are betting that future growth lies in the east and south, not the west. The EU's economies are stagnating, while BRICS nations are growing faster. BRICS membership could mean new trade deals, access to the New Development Bank, and infrastructure funding with fewer strings attached. For Orbán and Fico, this is a way to deliver results to voters, independent of Brussels. But the risks are huge. Hungary and Slovakia are deeply integrated with the EU, especially Germany. Alienating the EU could trigger recession, capital flight, and a currency crisis. The economic benefits of BRICS are not guaranteed. Its members have competing interests and small European nations could be sidelined. They risk trading dependence on Brussels for dependence on Beijing. The gamble is real and the outcome uncertain. Economic pragmatism may collide with harsh realities. The stakes are not just political, but existential. This realignment is also about a deepening cultural divide. Hungary and Slovakia's leaders present themselves as defenders of traditional values against the liberal agenda of Brussels. In BRICS, they see socially conservative partners who prioritize sovereignty over Western universalism. This narrative helps them consolidate power at home, framing the move as a stand for national identity. But it risks deepening divisions within their societies. Many young and urban citizens identify as European and value the freedoms EU membership brings. For them, pivoting to BRICS feels like a betrayal of progress and democracy. The result could be social unrest and a brain drain, as the best and brightest seek opportunities elsewhere. The debate over BRICS is not just foreign policy, it's a battle for the soul of these nations. The cultural rift may prove as consequential as the political one. To make sense of this, we turn to the experts. Dr. Anjali Sharma in Mumbai sees Hungary and Slovakia's move as a risky but logical attempt to maximize leverage between East and West. They're playing both sides, hoping to benefit from rising powers while keeping EU ties. But Western analysts warn of miscalculation. Dr. Klaus Richter in Berlin argues BRICS is not a club of equals. It's dominated by China and Russia. By joining, Hungary and Slovakia risk becoming junior partners, trading their EU seat for a lesser role. Economist Dr. Marcus Thorne points out that over 70% of their trade is with the EU, while BRICS accounts for less than 10%. Jeopardizing EU ties for uncertain BRICS gains is economic folly. Many see this as a symptom of a broader crisis of confidence in the Western order. Professor Chen Wei in Shanghai notes that BRICS represents the idea of multiple paths to success. Interest from EU members validates this shift. The world is moving toward a multipolar conversation about the future. Hungary and Slovakia are just the beginning. The shockwaves from Europe will be felt worldwide, especially in Washington. A strong, united EU has been a cornerstone of US foreign policy. A divided EU with members sympathetic to Russia and China weakens the Western alliance. This is a strategic win for Moscow and Beijing, who seek to undermine Western unity. For Russia, it could break the united front on sanctions and Ukraine. For China, it opens doors for influence deep inside the EU. The global South will see this as proof that the West's dominance is fading. More countries may pivot toward BRICS, accelerating the shift to a multipolar world. Middle powers like Turkey and Indonesia may feel emboldened to balance between blocs. The world could become more transactional, with shifting coalitions and less stable alliances. The international system is entering a new, unpredictable era. We are witnessing the dawn of a new era. The potential entry of 2 EU nations into BRICS is a symbol of a world in transition. The old certainties are gone. We now face a landscape of multiple powers and competing ideas. The decisions made in Budapest, Bratislava, and Brussels will have global consequences. They will shape the future of international institutions and determine whether the world moves toward cooperation or division. This is a global issue, raising questions about sovereignty, identity, and the future order. Citizens everywhere must engage with these changes and debate their implications. Is the Western model in crisis? Is multipolarity an opportunity or a risk? The world is not waiting. The next chapter is being written now. Hungary and Slovakia's move reminds us that history is accelerating, not ending. Our challenge is to understand and shape these forces for peace and prosperity. The story is unfolding. It's up to us to pay attention.